Good morning, guys. It is a little bit after 5:30. It's 5:46 right now. I went to bed at like 9 yesterday, so that's why I'm up super early. And I'm just super motivated to get my life all sorted because it's the start of a new month. So I just tidied up my room a bit, and I did fall a little bit behind on some adulting I had to get done for tax season. I also want to get in some chemistry study, my research assistant tasks, also just like set up the meeting for that. So I'm gonna go down and make some breakfast, take Luna out, and yeah. Hello. Good morning, Luna. Good morning. Anyone else's mom just buy cups with like random things on it? If you guys want to know how to fill the perfect amount of milk into your cereal, it's to pour until it floats.
So while I'm not taking a traditional course load like I do in university, I am self-studying chemistry to prepare me for pharmacy school that I'm starting in January. But I know most of you guys have exams right now, so comment below what your hardest subject was because mine was definitely chemistry.
Hey guys, I just finished working for the last 45 minutes, but I just got an email notification that I have a bank meeting today that I completely forgot about. Now I have to get dressed and I have to go. Hopefully it doesn't take me too long. It should only take me about an hour, but I have a feeling it's gonna run over that time because every time I go to the bank, it takes way longer than it's supposed to, which is literally the worst part of adulting. But I'm just gonna go do that and check back in after.
What did I tell you guys? My bank meeting ended up taking 3 hours. 3 hours! I went there to apply for a student line of credit because my pharmacy school tuition is literally bonkers, but ew, I don't even think people say bonkers anymore. Okay, but anyways, that's what I went in for, and then I left with a million other things to be doing. So that's what I'm basically working on right now. Basically, the bank gave me homework, so yeah.
And now I just want to come on here and give a huge shout out to Opera for sponsoring this portion of the video. Opera is a free and all-in-one browser. It has a ton of free features for students and content creators. There's a built-in VPN toggle that I use all the time whenever I'm away from home and I'm studying on public Wi-Fi. VPNs play a crucial role to keeping your online data safe, so that's why I love that Opera has this already included. Opera also just added TikTok to their sidebar alongside Instagram, Facebook Messenger, and Spotify. This is basically my phone home screen on my desktop now, so with the bigger screen, it's just easier to navigate and also view things on. So it's useful if you're watching any longer videos on TikTok. Now, having easy access to these social media apps can be distracting, but that's why I really like that Opera has different workspaces so you can differentiate your focus. I have a workspace for my academics, my YouTube and like adulting kind of things, and then also entertainment. So it has like Crunchyroll and Netflix and things like that. Opera also has the pop-out feature while browsing. So I've been doing this a lot when it comes to my Christmas shopping because it can kind of get boring. But yeah, I highly recommend you guys download Opera at the link in the description box below. It's free and it's super useful when you're a student or a content creator.
Here comes the satisfying part of my room clean. Basically, I haven't been able to see my carpet in like months, honestly, because I just always have like boxes of stuff because I'm like, oh, like I need to save this box so then when I move out, like I can put stuff in a box and I don't have to go buy boxes. But that's been that way for literally weeks and I'm only moving out this week. So yeah, basically I just had like a bunch of stuff. I accumulate a lot of things. I'm kind of a hoarder. No, actually that's such a negative word. I'm a collector. That's stupid. I'm a hoarder. But anyways, we got it all clean, so that's what matters.
It is currently at 5:05 in the morning and I still have a bunch of work to get done that I didn't get done yesterday because it was really gloomy and my energy levels were just so down, but I'm well rested and energized to like get the ball rolling right now. I'm gonna start the day off with some chemistry. I also know that most of you guys are going through final season, so I'm gonna give you some exam study tips and like how to take your finals tips. So without further ado, let's get this day started. I know most of you guys are going through final season right now, so I thought I'd give you some of my unique study techniques and my exam study tips. So the first study technique is anime doro, which is a play on the Pomodoro. I actually prefer this technique over the original because you can work in longer chunks of time. I feel like I can never really get anything done in 25 minutes. So how it works is you study in 45-minute intervals with 15-minute breaks in between. And when you repeat this 4 times in a day, that's 3 hours of study. I recommend this technique for people who like to multitask because the period of study is just that much longer. And I also recommend this to people who like anime or just like having rewards in between their study. That one's pretty basic. The next is the flow time technique. How this works is you pick a single task and you write down the time that you start and you just work for as long as you can. You stop when you lose focus or you feel tired or your body just aches from like staying in the same position, and you basically just repeat. This really tests your self-discipline, and this is a technique that I usually use during my study sessions. Here are an example of some intervals. If you study for less than 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break. If you study from say 30 to 50 minutes, then take a 10 or 15-minute break. And if you study from an hour to an hour and a half, then I would take a 20-minute break. Next is a technique that I feel like a lot of people don't know, and it's the ultradian rhythm study techniques. Ultradian kind of sounds like the circadian rhythm, which is your sleep and wake cycle, but this is actually your energy levels, which basically runs in like 90-minute intervals, and it's almost the same pattern for everyone. So a little background about the ultradian rhythm is it's basically meant to manage your energy cycle, output, and like your recovery period. So this is just a graph that I found online that easily explains like your top performance based on this rhythm. So to use this rhythm to your benefit as a study technique, you should find when you're getting that initial boost of like motivation or productivity, and then ride that wave out for 90-20 minutes, and then take a 20-minute break after stress or like fatigue starts to kick in. That's when you take your 20-minute break, and then you just repeat that several times throughout the day. Even just using this technique 3 times in a day will equal 4.5 hours of study time. Next is the blurting technique. I use this for content-based courses where you have to memorize a lot of things. So how it works is you pick a concept or an idea. Just for memory, you write down everything that you know, people, places, things, examples, whatever, and then you refer to your notes and you fill in everything you don't know in a new color. And then this can become your guide to that specific idea, and you can just do this for everything. For the blurting method, I recommend doing this online just because it's easier to edit and insert pictures or like move things around than it is to do on paper. Next is the Feynman technique. This one is a little bit more mainstream. First, you pick a concept or an idea that like requires application, and then you try to explain it like you're teaching a child. You use simple language, you create analogies, make acronyms, just make it as simple as possible. By making the information into more sizable bits, they're easier to understand and remember in the long run. And this is an active learning tool that has been proven to help more like on tests and exams. And then the next step is to just like fill in any like knowledge gaps, things that you don't understand, review, kind of like blurting method where you go back and refer to your notes and then basically like reframe it into a way that you understand. I think this is the best technique when it comes to reviewing in a group or with classmates. Moving on to my exam week study tips. One that I have mentioned all the time is to make an effective study schedule, study plan. I'm a huge fiend for study schedules, but basically what you want to do at the start of your exam season, or if you're in the midst of it, is to quantify or like just make an itemized list of all the concepts you need to know, all the readings you haven't read yet, all the lectures you haven't watched yet. Ask your classmates if you ever missed anything, attend review sessions to know what's going to be on the exam. Quantify that all into a nice little list. And then you're going to take all those items and divide them evenly across the days that you have left leading up to that exam, offering more time to subjects or courses that you are not comfortable with. Keep in mind you want to leave a buffer period at the end for review of question banks, practice papers, old exams, and so that if you fall behind on schedule, you have like that like 1 or 2 days of time for just like a buffer period. Next is everyone's use of highlighting. Instead of highlighting an entire textbook page in one color, I recommend color coding or just using 2 colors to keep it simple. I would use 1 color for the topic and the second color for any examples. I also do this in my notes. This is especially helpful if you use the same colors in your notes, so it's very easy to visually like pick out all the things that you need to know. My next study tip is to sleep according to your sleep cycle. This is a little bit unconventional. It's something that I personally do, but this isn't to mean that you shouldn't be sleeping at all during exams. Proper sleep, naps, and breaks are actually really important, but this is for like the extreme time crunches. I would sleep in 90-minute intervals because if you wake up like 60 or like 70 minutes, you'll actually wake up feeling more groggy because you'll be in the slow wave sleep stage. So if I have the opportunities to sleep for like 4 hours, I'll actually just like stay up until it's 3 hours, because that way I'll get 2 full cycles rather than like 2 and a little bit. That's just an easy sleep example. I recommend that you guys get more than 3 hours of sleep. And then the last tip is for my visual besties, and that's making a not to do list. Making this list will be a visual reminder of what not to do, so it can protect your energy, save you time, and help with procrastination, because kind of like having a strict list of rules that you're supposed to follow follow, and it's actually a conscious way of breaking bad habits and developing better ones. I would make the list composed of things that stop me from studying, which is what I need to do during finals. So scrolling, notifications, group chats, things like that, and I would just place it somewhere close to me that I can always see it. And I also recommend replacing each of the not to do things on the list with something good to do. So instead of scrolling for 10 minutes, you could meditate. Instead of calling someone and getting carried away, you could just take a quick walk. I think it's just small things like this that can really enhance your final season. So I hope you guys all have a good exam season.